Hey guys, welcome back. It is Lucid, and we are back with another round of Bogarus. And we have a kind of cool turn. So, if you recall, we had a ton of things happen in the last episode. We had, well, the failed storming, or the failed... I mean, they didn't even get a chance to storm because the elves rode out and fought the monkeys off their capital. And then the monkeys with their armies kind of in shambles, and me having large armies that were moving into position. I've since moved some of them back, but we had this up here, but we had even bigger stuff coming. Was threatening to basically kick the monkeys out of Elfland. The monkeys made peace, as I thought they would, because they're pretty rational. And I can understand them wanting to press for more, but I think it was a lot safer to just let me pay them for these two provinces, and then they would get all of this, and they would have probably been successful storming the cap. So anyway, monkeys thought they could press their luck, and if they did, and it worked, then we would have... That would have been how it went, but that isn't how it went. It didn't work, and they took a bit of a beating. So this turn, the coalition against Arco is starting to move, and we're either... I'm not sure. We've got like 10 hours left before the turn rolls. We've all been talking about ending the naps this turn, but I'm just going to wait for confirmation. And to be completely honest, I kind of want to go on this throne. It's got 200... This is a lie. It's got 240 dudes here. But we've got about like 400. So we outnumber them 2-1. A lot of what they have here are archers. And we're going to have Arrowfiend and they won't. And we're going to have flaming arrows, which should help deal with the spring hawks, because I'm going to have a fair number of people on fire archers. Fire flyers. And that should take out the Spring Hawks. That we'll see. The Spring Hawks are the main problem here. But yeah, and I've got this guy gonna do some fire elementals here at the back. I haven't tested this. I don't really know how it goes. I think it will work, but I swear to God, these thrones are one of the things that can really mess you up. It would be nice to go ahead and get this nature income, though. The growth scales and stuff doesn't matter. It'll also be nice to have our dominion spread. And perhaps the nicest thing of all is it just opens up another way for me to get troops into the Arco front. Like right now, it's this really roundabout way I have to go in and invade because of this mountain range here. And right now I don't really have transit through here. The elves, we're going to take this back. So yeah. There's that. We found with Haru specs, we found the Wolf Oak. Actually, go to Commander. We can't cast it again. Maybe she can run around in sight. I don't really want her to. She's actually, I realized too, she can fly. I think we talked about her at the end of last episode. I think we did. But yeah, I gotta be a little careful with her. I don't want her to die. She can actually make it to this fight. So I was thinking about having her come in, maybe cast an air elemental, but then it's like, could an air elemental decide this fight? It kind of could, but she could also die. And we're not going to do shit with her until I have her Twiceborn. And right now we don't have enough death income. Our death income is not really great. It's, we can do a Voice of Apsu. Let's do that. I'll do that over here. Because the really good thing that happened this turn is site searching that throne site. This is a very valuable throne site. It's a cave and a throne, which I think we talked about. Caves have a lot of magic sites, and thrones have a lot of magic sites. And so far we have found a maze, an alchemist guild, and then this wolf oak. This is a 2-gem site. It gives us the alchemist, which is basically the same as our alchemist, except it costs over twice as much. So no thank you. However, the earth and the fire gems are most welcome. And the maze is super nice. That was a pretty big jump to our astral income. We're only at 7 before. So pretty big deal for astral. And astral, by the way, as the game progresses and we get alt 9, we'll be able to turn those into fire gems basically at 2 to 1 or 1 to 2. So that's pretty good. And yeah, so we've also got this guy here to claim this throne, which will jump our fire income. We already were getting, the way this works, if this little infographic is, we were getting 1 fire gem a turn just from this thing being present in the province. Once we claim the throne, we're going to get 2 more. And we'll be able to recruit these guys, which actually is somewhat important. I think they're a pretty good value for a mage. We can have very high fire, you know, by doing communions and stuff, but for casting flames from the sky or, I don't know, other things, it can be nice. So that is pretty good. Also, it's a Bakemono province, which is noteworthy, I guess. Yeah, and our fort is making its way up. The other thing that happened is Atlantis has ridden out to fight his holy thickness, who is sitting on top of their only fort. And he rode out with 7... Where are we? 7 Tungaliks, these guys. So basically his whole mage corps. And I think they were doing Reanimate Dead or whatever. And his god. And the god, I think, ran away. And the Tungaliks, 6 out of 7 of them died. And so that's basically his whole mage corps dead now. He's still got troops. I think he didn't want to bring the troops out because he didn't want the troops to die and HP route everything. So now all he has left, I think, is 1 mage, his god, his worm, and about 80-something troops. So he's really in trouble now. Really, really in trouble. I mean, he's been in trouble, but I think the ideas of him being even very annoying are starting to fade away. And this is all very good news for us who want to kind of have this problem go away. Oh, he's also taken this, which is kind of nice. Who want to have this problem go away and then move on to bigger and better things. Yeah, so that's happening. And also just having this forted is super nice. Just having this forted is super duper nice. You know, we're patrolling. I think I have some... One second. I've got these guys moving over here with a Sanguine Dowsing Rod. We're going to have this guy go ahead and blood hunt. Yeah, just like that. And a preaching here. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yeah, our Dominion has finally moved in here. We're going to go ahead and preach it all the way up to 6. 2 of these guys, however, are going to move over here and preach out the Atlantis Dominion here. Here we've gotten rid of it, but we want, you know, to get positive Atlantis Dominion. Oh, we probably should position ourselves to claim this turn too. So if we're going to be bringing everybody, let's go ahead and bring everybody. We'll put this guy over here, and we'll have him. I think the most important thing is actually Sermon of Courage here. I think hitting some people with Sermon of Courage could be pretty impactful. But yeah, I think that will be fine. Enkidu soldiers. What do these guys have? They will be able to kill my heavy cav. It would be nice to have more summoning stuff, to be completely honest. And right now, this communion I have set up to go in is pretty weak. It's really just 2 guys and this dude. Is it magic scales? It's not it. It's neutral scales for magic. If it was magic scales, I could do Power of the Spheres and then do Horde of Skeletons. Neutral doesn't seem like as good of an idea. I think we just do this. I kind of wish I had a few more mages to really get a Skelly Spam Communion going. I think this will work. It's one of those things I just don't really know. You only, you know, you can play a lot of Dominions games, but you don't really, I don't know. You don't take that many thrones when you play. And so, and you're not 100% sure what the thrones are going to do. And these are units that players don't make a ton of. Like, the Springhawks can be really disruptive. But I think we'll take it. I'm a little worried we get flanked somehow. But I guess these guys will percolate through. Everybody right here is on a skirmish formation, which will help against archer fire. It's also going to mean that the Springhawks can land in the middle, which is kind of okay, because we should be able to knife them down. They don't have any protection. But it's also going to mean that these guys, the Bakemono and these guys, will be able to... They're at the back to hopefully catch the Springhawks, who are usually on attack rear. But hopefully they'll be able to percolate through and fight things. So we'll see. But yeah, we've got turn 1 arrow fend, and we've got flaming arrows and stuff going off. So I think we should be able to take this. And yeah, then we'll be able to claim it, get our Dominion pumping out this way, which will be sort of nice, but not super critical. And then, yeah, also the gems and stuff, which are going to be super good. So that is the plan. We may or may not end our nap with Arco this turn. Oh, but we got his score graph, so let's take a look at those. Because it's the first time we can really compare ourselves to anyone. So provinces, what I'm actually surprised is he must have expanded super well in all directions. Which is probably why he didn't feel the need to go to an early war. You know, he had like this very favorable border down here. I think he had a favorable border. I guess he didn't. I don't know. Well, Vettiheim's all the way over here, too. I don't actually know how he is... Like, his provinces, I'm only just the tiniest bit bigger than him. And I have fought Atlantis, and now I've vultured off the monkeys. And the only thing he's gotten... You know, he's gotten a little bit from fighting Ulm, but that's about it. Ulm has messaged me, too, by the way, and they had said that Arko offered peace if he would break him into blood with 55 slaves. And Ulm said no. And I told Ulm that we were coming soon, and I hope we can come this turn, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how Arko gets out of this, because he's going to be wheeling and dealing, and he's going to approach me, and I'm going to say I'm not now. But look at me, and I'll end up getting stuck fighting him in a 1v1. We'll see. So anyway, provinces, he's about as big as me, which I found very interesting. I was not expecting that. I was expecting him to be like maybe down here. Forts, I have a lot more forts than him. Which makes sense when you see the next graph, which is income. And income, we are stomping him. We are over twice his income. I think the provinces we do have a lot higher income than the provinces he has. And we have stuff like, you know, Atlantis' cap, which is a high-income province. So I think that's part of it. The other thing is, while he may not have high-income provinces, he does have very high gem income provinces. So some of this, I think the actual difference here is Mother Oak. Here was when he cast it. Yeah, he has really good gem income. I mean, I guess it's really just Mother Oak, but you know, aside from that, he's, you know, if you just accept, okay, he has Mother Oak, he's like 40 gems a turn, which is kind of nuts. We're at 30, and I thought we were doing good. So that's kind of impressive. Now, he has misfortune scales, and we have luck scales. So I don't think we're getting 10 gems a turn from luck, but we're getting at least 4 when you average it out, I think. Research, we're about tied, actually. You can see he was way ahead of us early. He was researching, and we kind of just turned on our engine and caught up. Our slopes are about the same right now. Dominion, here we are. We're actually ahead of him with our Dominion, even though we have very low Dominion score, which is kind of interesting. It's our preachers going to work. Army size, we are way, 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 way ahead of him. Way ahead of him. But the important things for fighting really is research. So we're at the same tech level as him. basically. Which means we should be able to execute this war as a 3 or 4v1. I mean, he's a better player than we are, almost certainly, but I've got 3 strong allies, and well, 4 if you count Ulm. But the Ulm is kind of the newest member to the coalition, even though he's been fighting them the longest now. But yeah, we've got 3 strong allies. I think we've got a pretty good shot at just taking him out. And all I'll probably get from it are probably like, I don't know, maybe so this province is a Chasm of Strange Light. I'll probably just get like, I don't know, these 5 provinces. I don't even really want his cap. I don't really want too much heat. I might get this stuff too. It's going to depend what Tianqi wants to do. Because Tianqi's primarily going to attack from this direction, and Vedi's primarily going to attack from this direction. The issue, if I take this stuff, it may give me access to this throne, which will freak people out. Because after this, we're already going to have 3 throne points, and it's 6 to win. I do not want a 4th throne point right now. That would be a trigger for people to be alarmed. 3 is just like, oh, you kind of have a lot. But 4 is like, okay, we need to be worried about a throne rush. So that's a thing. Yeah. So, what else? I think that's mostly it. For the forging, we're making a Skull of Fire. And that's going to let us next turn make a Flame Hat. We can make a Lightless Lantern here. And so you can see we're using 2 of our hammers. Next turn, we'll put this hammer on this guy. And we're going to have another hammer. So if I get lucky with an Earth event, which is a very real chance, we're going to be able to make... I need to have a total of 10 to make another hammer. So if I get a +2 Earth Gems next turn, we'll be able to make another one. Otherwise, I'll have to wait a turn. But we are going to be turning on lantern production, and I'm going to be selling them for 6 Fire Gems and, yeah, making a tidy little profit of 4 gems a lantern. And we will use that to probably try to control Pyre. That is the plan. That is the plan. The other thing, too, that I think is relevant is if we take Arco out, I don't know who else will be in a position to really contribute like 100 gems with the monkeys to control it, to take Pyre away from me. So we'll have to see. We will have to see. But there's a very good chance, I don't know, we're going to get ready to cast it immediately, and there's a decent chance we cast it as soon as we can with a minimum casting, or we invite the monkeys in on it. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We're also, by the way, doing our astral window. This turn we had done it on this throne, and we figured out this is the throne of water. Which has, this is the throne I really wanted more than probably any other throne, because we don't have water access, and it would be super nice to, I mean, we have it now a little bit, but it would be super nice to get it, you know, better, more reliably. If I pick up this throne, it's going to be too many thrones for me. So, but I still wanted to know which one was here. We're casting it this turn on this province here, which I believe is the province that has the crazy fire site from Patala, but I just want to confirm it. The other thing that has happened this turn is the monkeys have moved back on top of the Midgard fort, which I don't think is surprising. They did a very low commitment attack to get back on top. And we had sent Midgard money last turn too, so they definitely could have afforded a little bit more PD. But just the most budget of monkey bands has taken the cap PD. Like, I think this is certainly likely enough that you put more than 2 PD here. I kind of don't know what they're... Like, this is kind of an inexcusable mistake a little bit. Like, you can't let them lock your cap up again this cheap. and they're ready to go at it again. Now we're sending them some money, though honestly I don't even know what they're going to do with it. They've got this fort locked up. I think they can only afford to recruit out of one of these. I think we're going to cut this down to 150. Yeah, I'll send him a message too. Since you can only recruit... Okay. We'll do that. I was going to send them 300. I just don't think they can spend it. I think it's just wasting the money now. They don't have any air gems. I can't send them any. I don't have any air gems to send them. They're on their own now. So because of that, we do need to start thinking about... We're moving some of these troops over here, but I need to think about when I come over here and take this fort from them. Because I think it's about time. I think they've died an honorable death now. They wrote out their deeds will be remembered in the halls of Valhalla. But yeah, I don't think there's too much more that they're going to be able to pull off over here. You know what we should do? Death, astral, blood. We need to... Fire, earth. I think I'm casting augury over here. I don't think I actually want to. We'll have this. Well, no, I think we'll still do... Wait, if we're going to do augury... I need to make earth boots at some point. But I need hammers. Oh, this guy can do gnome lore. Let's do this. We'll do gnome lore here. We'll do... augury here and there. We'll have high sight searched it for those. We'll sight search it for astral too. Oh, I don't have probing yet. That's Evo 3. Anything else we need to sight search for? Water would be nice too. Though I may be doing that. Yeah, we're doing water. Air would be good. I don't have any air gems. Death we've already done. Nature we've already done a little bit. Okay. We can also start thinking about forting this up. The monkeys took this back from us. Actually, barely. They moved in some Zots and some other dudes. Yeah, I think if they didn't catch that commander there at the end, because he was buried in the crossbows, I think we would have taken it. But the Zots get torn apart. Anyway, they took this from us. This is all part of the agreement. And... yeah, I think after... So I think this turn, this army moves back on top. And then I think this army is going to come down here, and I think we're going to go ahead and ask to take this. But yeah, the big decision, and this is the thing I'm super conflicted, or not super conflicted, I just don't know what the right answer is. Because it's going to depend. Like, if I had enough fire, it would be worth solo controlling Eternal Pyre. But I think it is better. I'm leaning towards trying to split it with the monkeys. I'm leaning to that. I mean, our fire income is going to go up a lot when we get this Throne of Fire here. I mean, that's going to help a ton. And we can even, if we want to, manually site search Fire 3s now with these dudes, which I think is probably worth it. I mean, we'll probably find like a bonus 2 fire income in our whole empire. It'll take a few turns, but, you know, it's going to save us a boatload of fire gems than if we were to do it remotely. But the biggest thing about it is I think we're actually, like, in the long run, we'll have more fire gems if we control pyre. But in the short run, we are going to be able to get... Okay, in the long run, we'll have more firebirds if we control eternal pyre by ourselves. In the short run, we're going to have a lot more firebirds if we split it with the monkeys, I think. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Yeah, I think that's about it, though, for this turn, guys. We've got Miguel's sons, the White Wizard, the Master Assassin. Oh, I tried to suicide him in this battle. Somehow he didn't die. I'm not even sure how that's possible. But anyway, guys, it's been real. Game is going pretty darn good. We're about to get probably taught a few lessons as we try to, mess with Arco. But the good news, I think, for our engagement with him is we don't have any forts to take, really. It's all just land. So I don't even really need to marshal huge armies. I can kind of just chill and raid. And I can raid also. It's worth thinking about. Do we make a quick pass up here to Blood 5? And that will give us Sinless or Horror. And if I want to do that before Conjuration 6, then I need to make... This is going to be... How do we get our... We don't have anybody who's a high blood mage. Like, I don't have any blood 3s. So I don't know if there's going to be a way to easily climb the blood boosting ladder before we get our Ring of Wizardry. I don't think there is. I think we just have these guys. I could empower them. Honestly, our god's going to be out soon enough, and we're going to have the Ring of Wizardry. I think we just climb with that. I mean, we'll probably still need to empower to get the other boosters, I guess. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure. But, yeah, we can probably do some raiding with Sinless or Horror, and then just generally pick at him while the other people are busy taking his forts. That seems like a fine way to do it for me. And that way we have a very easy war here. And we can start thinking about what's going to come next. Yeah, we'll have to see how all of this plays out. I mean, if you look at it, this already is going to be the border of TNG. So yeah, this will potentially... I mean, this war is not really for greed. This war is to get Arco out of the game, if we can. The thing I have to manage after this is that people don't come for me. And I think I have a strong enough alliance with TNG. That's not going to happen. But I need to think about how do I even expand again? Like eat another nation? Because I can take the Arco stuff and I won't get any more access to a throne. I could fight the monkeys and not get any more access to a throne. If I fight Calum, I will get access to one more throne. Or this will basically become mine if I win. But I think Calum is probably the next target for us, for TNG and I. And they've taken just terrible losses here. But I kind of am thinking that after this, I turtle a bit. I think we have this war with Arco. I think after this we turtle, I get my blood economy going. Because, like, to fight Calum too, I really want to have, like, a blood economy going. Because flyers are going to suck against my troops. Wailing Winds is going to suck. But, like, demons and all of that are going to pretty much outclass Calum. Demons are immune to morale plays too. They've got 30 morale, so Um, yeah, that is an option. It's possible we just go into like a turtle phase, but it's also possible if TNG and I eat Calum, that will all. It's important to think through all the consequences of that. Like if we eat him, like especially if I attack downward, that would maybe mean Joman could eat Raga, or Raga eat Joman, whichever way that goes. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure. What I don't want to have happen really is I eat Calum, and then I have to come over here and fight and eat all of this stuff too. And the other thing is that the nation I'm most worried about, and we're sending, by the way, Snooky over here to Vedheim. Vedheim's right here. The nation I'm most worried about in this, assuming we can take Arco out, is Vedheim. So I think, especially if I look at score graphs and I see, because I think Vedheim's bigger than me right now, and I think they're at least at research parity with me. They may be a little higher, but they're going to be like right around here, if not higher. If they are bigger and scarier, then I think that TNG and I need to eat one more target before I would turtle. If we do that, then it's going to be interesting what happens with Vedheim, because I have to pull out the map and look at who's strong and who's eating what, because it's possible. I think Ulm is right here above him. I think Vedheim can eat Ulm. Like, I think if we help him kill Arco, while we're messing with Calum, he would solo eat Ulm, and then he would be probably big enough to win. I mean, first of all, he would have access to 6 thrones, because he would basically control this whole column. He would have himself, because the column is only 3 tall. So he would have the whole column, which gives him, by definition, access to 6 thrones. So somebody would have to have one of the thrones in his column, which is very possible. Like TNG could have this one, you know. But for me, that poses a particular problem in that I can't really influence this war very much. So I don't even have access to any of the thrones in this column. I might have access to this one. So I think that's going to have to be part of our planning, which is that if we go on Calum, we need to each prepare to defend, like have major defense forces present at each of the Vedheim thrones so that he doesn't throne rush. And then we probably need to draw up war plans for going on him, if things start getting out of control. Because, like, TNG and I are doing, like, pretty measured growth, I think. Anyway, this is all, like, super far stuff in the future, but it's all worth thinking about. Because you have to always think, if I'm successful in the plans I execute, or the plans that I'm saying that I want, like, what are the outcomes of it? And sometimes the outcomes are not what you would want or expect. One of the outcomes of killing Arco is I could bring a lot of heat on myself. I don't think that's the case, and we were kind of talking through all that. And also, by the time Arco is dead, I should have this Snooky over in Vetti's cap. So if tides start to turn against me, if Vetti has higher score graphs than I do, I can share that info. And that will potentially help keep my own heat low. So, yeah, guys, I think that's about it. By the way, if you've made it to the end here, put in the comments whether you think I should try to control Eternal Pyre myself or split it with the monkeys. It's going to be too late for me to listen to anything you've said because it's going to go up on YouTube way after this turn's passed. But I'm curious to see what you think. And with that, I will see you all later.